This video is all about monthly checks for everyone. Do you think that would sound a little bit nice right now? Yeah, I totally agree with you. Getting ongoing monthly checks or any type of financial assistance right now would be very, very helpful for a lot of people. As we all know, bills are racking up and the income for most people is just simply not there, which is why I want to talk about ongoing monthly checks for virtually everybody. Now, essentially when we talk about this, it can sound a little bit far-fetched, like this would never happen. This type of program would never take place. However, I wouldn't exactly say that. The reason being is these programs are generally called Universal Basic Income, monthly checks, UBI, or names like this, but let me give you a quick example and talk about a program that happened a few years ago where virtually everybody across the entire country got checks. Now again, it's not exactly the same thing, but this is a great example of a program that is exactly how this plays out. Think back to 2020 and 2021. What happened? We got 3 different stimulus checks. Now again, this is not the exact same thing as ongoing monthly checks for everybody, but it is a very, very similar concept. So even though those 3 checks that we got in 2020 and early 2021 were different dollar amounts, it was essentially the same thing where 85+% of the population got these no strings attached checks and you could do whatever you want with them during that time. Do you remember that? Obviously remember it because that was a very pivotal time. We all remember what was going on, and again, those checks were very helpful. Well, again, like I said, that is the focus of this video. I do want to talk about this because, believe it or not, there are many people out there suggesting right now we need to establish these ongoing monthly check programs with no strings attached for virtually everybody because of the landscape changing in a major way. Which, by the way, when I say landscape, I'm not literally talking about like trees and bushes and grass and stuff like that. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the economic landscape of what is actually happening right now. We're changing. Things are changing very rapidly right now. It is changing so incredibly fast that like rules and regulations literally cannot even keep up with how fast technology and everything is evolving right now. It's nuts to see this whole thing play out. So anyway, long story short, I do want to talk about monthly checks for virtually everybody. Now again, it can be interchangeable. It could be UBI, Universal Basic Income, monthly checks. Sometimes they're referred to as Guaranteed Basic Income. However, that is a little bit different. But let me talk you through the details about this and what we could potentially see on the horizon at some point across the entire country. Now, all across the country right now, there are programs, believe it or not. And in fact, I've talked about many of these before in the videos here on the channel, which is these programs that are popping up all across the country, sending out ongoing no strings attached checks for millions of people all across the country for extended periods of time. However, let's talk about the differences between those and these other programs as far as UBI or Universal Basic Income, okay? So here's what it comes down to. Universal Basic Income would literally be a program established across the entire country that would send out an ongoing monthly check to literally everybody in the entire country. Now, this is a classic UBI type of structure, which is everybody gets a check regardless of demographics, regardless of age, regardless of income, regardless of anything like that. Everybody gets a check, and basically what the whole purpose of that would be is to stimulate the economy in a massive, massive way. Now, I want to clarify really quickly, the likelihood of anything like this on this level realistically is probably not going to play out in that exact scenario. Reason being is, in general, anytime that they establish these types of programs or send out these types of checks like this to the American people or just people all across the country, generally they have income thresholds, which would make this much more of a guaranteed basic income type program versus like a universal basic income program where everybody gets a check, okay? So that's basically the structure behind it. So what I've been saying here is universal basic income, even though it's a very good concept and a lot of people suggest like, hey, we need something like this, that exact structure would probably not play out exactly like that in this country simply because they have income thresholds. Now, they do have very high income thresholds for these types of programs, which, by the way, when I say very high income thresholds, it depends on the program that we're talking about, but in general, they typically say somebody is low income or eligible to receive this as an individual is usually around $75,000 or less, or even $100,000 or less as an individual. Sometimes they go up to $150,000 for a married couple or $200,000 a year for a married couple. That's a very big income, okay? There's not that many people that receive an income at those levels as an individual or a married couple all across the country. I mean, the percentage of the population that receives an income of that level is actually pretty small, okay? So again, that's what they're talking about here. But we continue to see many people coming out, lawmakers, including other high-profile people that are out there now, suggesting we need these types of programs. Now, why would we need such a thing? A lot of it comes back to the advancements in technology like AI, artificial intelligence. You know, some people refer to it as sophisticated computing, sophisticated technology. It could be robotics, you know, artificial intelligence, whatever you want to call it. It's all essentially the exact same thing, which is automation and very, very smart, sophisticated technology taking over the replacement of many people, as in humans, right? Okay, so as a result of this, this is what people are suggesting is that, hey, we need some type of UBI program to replace all of this that's going on. So anyway, long story short here, basically what I wanted to say is that, yes, monthly check programs are a real thing. In fact, these are not only happening in the United States. So again, we could probably think like, hey, you know, this is only happening in the United States. No, that is not true at all. In fact, let me give you a quick example. Canada is very, very close to establishing a basic income in that country. So basically what they want to do is anybody that has an income just under $17,000 a year in obviously Canadian dollars, not United States dollars, very different by the way, in Canadian dollars, they'd basically be eligible for this basic income program where you'd get this ongoing monthly check program and you just get ongoing monthly income. So again, sounds very nice, right? Well, that's the whole purpose behind what I wanted to focus on here on this video, is because these monthly check programs, otherwise known as UBI or Universal Basic Income, is a very popular concept, but at the end of the day, it's probably not going to play out in this exact scenario. However, it is not too far-fetched to think that at some point, probably sooner than later, we will likely be getting some type of ongoing monthly checks here in this country on a nationwide level because of the replacement of jobs, the replacement of humans in the workforce because of robotics, sophisticated computers, sophisticated technology, artificial intelligence, things like this that are very, very smart and can work instantly. Versus where humans, obviously, we take time to do stuff. We can't do stuff instantly like computers can, right? It's just nuts to see how things are advancing right now. So anyway, I want to come back really quickly and talk about really fast here the differences of UBI and GBI, Universal Basic Income, Guaranteed Basic Income, what this means for the American people as well as the country as a whole, and why this is not too far-fetched of an idea. It's already out there, and a lot of people backing this up, suggesting we need this right here, right now, across the entire country. I hope this helps you, a little bit at least, and doesn't confuse things too much. I know it can sound a little bit confusing with everything going on, but this is what I want to explain for you really fast. So if you have not done so, again, subscribe down below, totally free to do so. Share the video with your friends on my social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. And as always, leave your comments, questions, feedback down below. Until next time, enjoy your day, take care, have a good one, and I'll catch you again later in the next